Well, good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us. This is Women's Voice, and of course, we are coming to you live from our studios at GBC News, your news and governance channel. My name is Selikem, Acolatse, Apaloo. Today on the program, we're looking at effective learning strategies for students. For a student to be effective at assimilating what they learn, the teacher must necessarily be effective in ensuring that what they're communicating to that student is received just as it was meant to be, as it was giving out. Can we say our education system allows that to happen? Why do students struggle to assimilate information and reproduce information? Why do we have a whole generation of students who would rather prefer to just pick up on everything they've learned, memorize it, and reproduce without understanding what it is that they've been taught? What has success in exams got to do with how a student learns or the strategies that a student uses in learning? My guest in the studio today is very committed to this task of ensuring that students get to understand what they learn and that students form effective habits of learning, because he is saying that learning must not just be learning, it must be learning if it is effective. So how do we get there? And that's why I tell you a little bit more about my guest. My guest joining me for today is a speaker. He's a speaker who engages in areas, and his specialty has to do with purpose discovery, also has to do with career, talent coaching, learning strategies, emotional management, coaching in relationships, marriage, parenting, and many others. He is also an author. He's authored an award-winning book, Learning Strategies, The Art of Applying Critical Thinking Skills, among several other books. Also, he is a life coach, coaching on these areas that I've mentioned, and he's the founder and lead life coach at Lordstone Life Coaching Consult. I'm talking about Aaron Lordstone. Kpogo, thank you so much for joining us, Aaron.
Thank you very much.
The last time you were here, we're talking about career.
Yes.
Or so. But I'm glad to have you back in the studios, because around this time, the students are preparing to write their BECE. Let's start from basics.
Okay.
What is learning? Sure.
Now, learning basically has to do with change in behavior or knowledge as a result of experience. That is learning.
Okay.
Change in behavior as a result of experience.
Okay.
Now, the question is, what is that behavior that we need to see the change in? There are three areas. One, knowledge acquisition, ability to know something, and then being able to apply it. Two, it should be able to change our character. That I've known something, and over time, what I'm doing is not good. I need to change it, or maybe I need to apply it in this way for me to have a better outlook to life. Then three, skills development. Whatever we learn, at the end of the day, should be able to give us the needed skills to be able to be very efficient in life or at the workplace. And then the experience has to do with a foreknowledge of the person.
Okay.
Sometimes we learn through perception. So based on what I've heard about someone or a subject will determine my approach and understanding to that subject. Yeah, so learning basically is, and there are different definitions.
Right.
Now, some will say it's just accumulation of information.
Right.
And then storing it and reproducing it back. But that's a narrow angle to learning.
But that's the basic one that we understand it to be.
Great.
So you're saying there's a deeper one?
Yes. The deeper one is able to read, understand, and relate what you are reading to the environment and apply it to life situations. So that needs to engage the analysis part of the brain, because learning itself is a cognitive activity. It's a mental activity that makes you want to process every information in your mind. Yeah, so if you are learning and you are not able to analyze it to the environment and how it can solve issues, then you only learn facts store it in memory, and reproduce it when the teacher needs it or when it's time for exams.
Okay.
But that's a narrow angle to learning.
Okay, so this is the trend for a lot of students over the years. And I've been a student in Ghana, so yes. I know the drill.
Exactly.
You chew, we say chew, pour, pass, and forget.
Yes.
You get the information, you're expected in the exams to reproduce the same information. Yeah. So we don't see the need to just do anything else, analyze it, or understand it even beyond that. We just see a need to just take all this information, memorize it, and reproduce. And in fact, when you do that, you pass your exams.
Exactly. And it's the nature of the education system we've been operating all this while. That's why we leave school, or we even learn just to remember and then reproduce. Yeah, so it's the nature of the educational system. So if that must change, then it has to change straight from creche, the preschool level. So that at that level, we are able to identify the learning needs or style of children and tailor teaching to suit them.